Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phillies Hot Seat Vidcast, and today we're going to be talking about the Phillies. We're going to be talking about their managerial situation. Obviously, I made a couple of videos, here and there for the past week or so about the postseason. Made one about the wild card game. Made one about the AL DS with the Yankees and the Twins. But all the other games are going to Game 5, like the Astros and the Rays and the obviously Nats, Dodgers, and Cardinals and Braves are also getting Game 5. So that's why obviously I haven't been able to make those videos because the series are not over yet. So obviously once that's over, then you'll see the recap for those series. Now, today I'm here to talk about some coaching. I'm here to talk about obviously some managers. I'm here to talk about what I think the Phillies are going to do. I'm here to talk about that. I might touch a little bit on, some players I think we should tender or non-tender, things like that. I'm not going to talk about a lot about free agency until we get to that point. So I'm not going to touch on that just yet. But, I'm definitely going to make, my point about this managerial situation that's going on. So, okay. So, obviously, let's get right into it. So, obviously, the Phillies manager, as of right now, is Gabe Kapler, and he's not good, and he's made so many boneheaded decisions during his time as Phillies manager. After last season, there was some talk to me they'd fire him. I was one of those people who kind of supported that, but when they did bring him back, I'm like, okay, I was understanding. I said, okay, that's fine. Give him another chance. He deserves another chance. Well, he's had a second chance, and he has multiple good superstar players, and we only got one game better than last year. And don't try to bring up the fact that he had injuries in the bullpen. I'm so sick and tired. That is a BS narrative, and I'm so sick and tired of hearing it. It really is. It's such a BS excuse. It's a cop-out, and I'm sick and tired of hearing about injuries, okay? And listen, I love Andrew McCutchen, but he's not the reason to blame why we went into a huge downfall, okay? He's not the fallout guy. I'm sorry. You know who is? Our manager. Because our manager is the one who should be held responsible for this whole mess. And I'm so sick and tired of these people who go out there and make excuses for the man. I'm not saying that he is all at fault. I'm not saying he's 100% at fault. Because you know what? Injuries did have a slight impact, but they're not the game changer. Our game changer is the man who makes the decisions, and that is Gabe Kapler. So I definitely blame Gabe Kapler for this mess, not our injury problem. So it's not a valid excuse. It's not. It's a cop-out. It's a stupid little cop-out. What these fans, some of these fans want to do, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's not the injuries, not all their fault. It's the manager's fault. So at the end of the season, you're thinking we got swept out by DC 5 games. We couldn't beat the Marlins this past year. We struggled. We really, really struggled. So you're thinking, well, obviously Matt Klentak said nothing but good things about Gabe Kapler all year long. So, Middleton, you obviously know how tough he is. So, here's what happens. So, you get to the end of the season. We're thinking we got this in the bag. Gabe Kapler's definitely not coming back next year. He's definitely gone. And the day after that was Rosh Hashanah, which is a Jewish holiday. And Gabe Kapler is Jewish. So, he celebrates the holiday. It's a 2-day holiday. So, the day after the season. So, you're sitting there thinking, well, maybe we understand why they don't want to fire him. It's Rosh Hashanah. He celebrates. We don't want to fire him on a Jewish holiday since he is Jewish. So we don't want to hurt his day. Well, 2 days go by and there's still nothing, which we expected because it was a Jewish holiday. Then Wednesday goes by. And after Wednesday goes by, so you're thinking why haven't they made the move yet? Well, here we are, a week later. And still nothing's happened. It's October the 9th, ladies and gentlemen. And the Phillies have still not decided whether they will keep or fire Gabe Kapler. Could this get any more Phillies, guys? Could this get any more Phillies? It just couldn't get any more Phillies. Let's wait until almost 2 weeks after the season to decide what we're going to do with our manager. And they still haven't made their decision yet. Couldn't get any more Phillies. You know what? I would almost be happier if they just would have said the day after the season, we're keeping them. Why drag it out this long? Why drag it out this long? It makes absolutely no sense. And it pisses me the hell off. It really does. It really, really pisses me off. I think it pisses me off even more that they haven't even made their freaking decision. I'm sorry. But it really pisses me off. It really, really does. And at this point, guys, I hate to say it looks like we're going to keep him. I just can't believe it. Our management, I'm so disappointed in our management. Matt Klentak's coming back next year. I don't think he's really the problem. I mean, he didn't go out and get good starting pitching, and which, he is a fault at that. I will blame him for that. He should have gone out and got more reliable starting pitching, not relied on Nick Pivetta, Vin Velasquez, and Aaron Nola to be the top guys. And that's what happened. He didn't go out and get good, reliable starting pitching. Instead, we relied on these weak arms. He didn't get us anywhere. So that aspect, I do blame Matt Klentak. But Matt Klentak pleased Gabe Kapler all year long. All year long. I tell you what, I mean, Klentak, I don't know, man. I mean, it really, really bothers me. It really bothers me. You wait a week, almost a week and a half after the season ends, and they still haven't made their decision. Who the heck? I mean, we haven't heard anything. They said last week, Jim Salisbury, last Friday, said, the Phillies are going to make their decision next Friday. And the decision still hasn't been made, guys. It still hasn't been made. And here we are. We're in the middle of the week now. It's Wednesday. We're officially through the middle of the week. It's 1:42 at the time right now. We're officially halfway through the week, and we still haven't heard anything. Now, the Phillies haven't gone out and fired some coaches. They fired pitching coach Chris Young. I think that's a great decision. The Phillies struggled with pitching all year long. Obviously, I kind of touched on that Matt Klentak is partly the blame for that because he did not go out and get some good starting pitching. But Chris Young did have an impact because, Aaron Nola really had a bad year. None of our guys really had good years, even the guys that shit. I mean, listen, when Eflin went on that horrible stretch in the summer when he had a 10 ERA, Eflin is a better – he's not great. I'm not saying Eflin's good, but he's better than a 10 ERA. I mean, really? I mean, that's ridiculous. He's better than that. And he's not great, but he's better than a 10 ERA. So definitely not a year to remember. We have Rick Kranitz, our old pitching coach. He's thriving with Atlanta. See, guys, our management just makes the stupidest decisions. It's ridiculous. Why the hell did we fire Rick Kranitz? There's nothing wrong with that guy. He was one of the reasons why Aaron Nola was really, really – I mean, he got Aaron Nola to where he needed to be last year. And then look what happens when we fire him. He falls off. And I'm not saying Rick Kranitz was the best pitching coach. I'm not saying that he was amazing. I'm not saying that at all. But he was better than Chris Young. See, guys, this goes to show you that our management is so stupid. So stupid. Waiting to announce a decision. I mean, how hard is it? You need to determine. I mean, they had almost a week to decide if he was going to be back or not. Because we got eliminated halfway through the week. So they had a half of a week, almost a week, to make their decision. Instead, we set out 2 weeks. I think it's been 2 weeks since they get eliminated, and they still haven't come out and said anything. They've been quiet. It just shows what a joke this front office is. It's an absolute joke. You haven't heard a thing out of anybody. Not a thing. Not one word. Except that we fired our pitching coach, who was terrible. Who should have been fired. And you know who else needs to go? Our stupid manager, who is stupid and does not make good decisions. Couldn't get any more Phillies, could it? You wait 2 weeks after the season, almost 2 weeks after the season to fire to make the decision, and it still hasn't been made, guys. We're in counting. A week and a half in counting. It still hasn't been made. I mean, think about it. He underachieved all year long. Any other ball club would fire that manager. Any other ball club except the typical Phillies. Let's keep him. He has no managerial experience. We are an absolute dumpster fire when it comes to hiring good coaches. Think about one good coach that we've had the past 5 years. Other than Charlie Manuel. He was great. We loved him. Obviously. He didn't really do much as a hitting coach. Obviously, he's not coming back. But think about it. We had Ryan Sandberg, Pete Mackanin, and now Gabe Kapler. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. We are just so stupid with our decision making. I don't understand it. What attracted us to him in the first place? What made us think, let's hire Gabe Kapler as our manager? It makes absolutely no sense. We need a manager with MLB experience. And heck, knowing the Phillies, maybe they do fire him. I have no idea, but we're not going to fire him, I don't think. At this point, I don't think it's going to happen. Typical Phillies. Let's hire a manager with no MLB managerial experience whatsoever. Let's hire a guy like that. That makes absolutely no sense. But it's not surprising with this clown front office. It's a joke. Our front office is a joke. It really, really is, guys. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Really, it's just laughable how anemic and disappointing our front office is. Matt Klentak, he doesn't know what he's doing. Okay, he doesn't know what he's doing. And you know, maybe I'm starting to doubt John Middleton. I'm a huge John Middleton fan. He's one of the reasons why we got Bryce Harper. He's one of the main reasons why we got him. You know what? Maybe I'm starting to have second thoughts about him. I'm starting to have second thoughts. And you could tell on the last game of the season, I'm not a guy who likes to take things out of context. But you could tell Aaron Nola was walking past. He was walking down the tunnel. And Gabe Kapler was sitting there shaking everybody's hand. And he comes up to Gabe Kapler. Stiffs him. Doesn't give him a handshake. Now, I mean, you, as I said, you can't really take things out of context. Was he just, maybe he didn't see him, maybe he just, sometimes, like I do that sometimes where, like, someone says hi to me or something like that. I'm thinking about something, and I totally tune out what they even said to me, or someone puts their hand out. But I think it's more, damning if someone puts their hand out to shake your hand, you don't even do it. I mean, maybe he was looking up at someone, maybe someone said something. You can't really take it out of context. I'm not a Kapler fan. I'm just saying that you guys know how much I'm a critic of Gabe Kapler. But I'm not going to say, for me to say that I don't think that's really important, you got to take that seriously, because I'm not the kind of guy who's going to give Gabe Kapler a break. You know that. Yeah. So let's handle another stupid thing. The fans are absolutely furious with this. Well, maybe some of them. But listen to this. And a report came out that they're going to let the players decide if he thinks that he should be back next year. The players. As much as I love Bryce Harper, as much as I love JT, those guys are like my two favorite players on this team. My favorite is Bryce, and my second favorite is JT. I love those guys. Those guys are great. And that they had nothing but better things to say about Gabe Kapler. I can't believe those two guys would like someone like that. I really don't. I mean, Gabe Kapler, he's just, I'm not going to knock him as a person, but he's just arrogant. He does push-ups in the outfield. Like, who the hell does he think he is? Like, he thinks he's some bodybuilder. Well, go back to Hollywood, buddy. We don't want you here in Philly. We really don't. We really, really don't. You're not cool. If you think you're cool, you're not. So leave, please. It just surprises me why Bryce Harper, why JT Realmuto would want to support an idiotic piece of crap manager like Gabe Kapler. I don't understand it. He's terrible. His decision-making is terrible. For example, look at the lineups. Maikel Franco. Look how many times he played against the Nationals. He killed the Nationals all year long. He killed them all year long, from the start of April to September, the walk-off home run in July. He did great all year long against the Nats. And guess what? That 5-game series, we hardly even played him. He didn't even see much field. Because the computer told Kapler to put in another player. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, his decision-making. He's just weird. He's weird. I don't get it. I don't get it. And you're going to let the players decide on this? I think this is a situation where you got to listen to the fans. Now, I'm not saying that Gabe Kapler is 100% wrong. He's 100% to blame. Matt Klentak is a big reason to blame for this one as well. He doesn't really know much about how the city works. He really doesn't. You need pitching to win your ball games. And I don't think he realized he drug us through that rebuild process. Drug us through it. He doesn't understand how impatient we were. You don't even, and this is the season to win. You don't even get out and good starting pitching. Season to win. You didn't even go out and get any good starting pitching, man. And you call this a season to win? I don't think so. This is why we finished 500. Season to win. Okay, I'm not knocking him, Matt Klentak, as a person. I think he's a great person. I've met him. He's a very nice guy. He's really, really nice. But as a general manager, I just don't understand his decision making. He's very, very strange with the things he does. I don't understand it. Typical Phillies, let's wait a week and a half when all the other teams have fired their managers, like the Cubs, the Angels, the Mets, all these other teams. There's so many teams that have fired managers. The Pirates. There's so many teams. I'm forgetting some. Honestly, I'm forgetting some teams. The Pirates, the Cubs, the Angels. I'm forgetting. I know I am. I'm forgetting some teams because there's so many teams that have fired managers that I can't even keep track of them all. There's so many teams. You know why? Because their front office knows how to make the quick decision, decisive decision making, instead of being a little coward and waiting this long to make your decision. Shows what a joke this whole front office is, guys. It really is. It's so damning. It's so damning. So let's take a step back for a second, and let's look at our available coaching staff. So we're going to have to fill our hitting coach position. We're going to have to fill our pitching coach position. Hopefully the manager position, but that's not going to happen. Looks like Kapler will be back next year, unfortunately. I'm very, very disappointed in the Phillies front office. I just totally went off on them. I was looking forward to that moment for all week. I'm going to make a video blasting the Phillies front office. I loved every minute of it. I'm so happy I did that. I kind of vented about it, so I'm still kind of pissed, but I feel a lot better about it now. So let's take a look. So I think that if we make Sam Fuld, who was our outfield coordinating coach, I think he'd be a great hitting coach. I think he's done a great job. You guys know how highly I talk about him. I think he's very, very good, and I really, really enjoy him as a coach. Well, I'm not a player, of course, but I think the players seem to enjoy him, and I really, really like him. So I definitely think that he'd be a good hitting coach. He just does a great job. So yeah, he's our information coordinator. For some reason I thought I think I got it confused with somebody else, the outfield coordinator. I'm sorry about that. So our pitching coach, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I honestly think that Mickey Callaway would be a great pitching coach, and I'll tell you why. Before you go in the comment section and blast me and say, "Whoa, Luke, what are you talking about, man? He's a joke. He's a clown, right?" Well, hold on. As a manager, he is. But as a pitching coach, he was with the Cleveland Indians with Terry Francona, and he was fantastic. And think about all the pitchers that he developed, like Trevor Bauer, which I'm not a fan of, but Corey Kluber, Carlos Carrasco, some really, really good pitchers over there at the Indians. So I definitely would really, really like him as a pitching coach. He's not a good manager, but he's a fantastic pitching coach. He's a fantastic pitching coach. He's not a manager. He's a pitching coach. And I think having him in Philly would be great. I would love it. Make the move. I'd really, really like it. Now, as a manager, there's been some talk. Obviously, the Angels are, really pursuing Joe Maddon. Joe Maddon used to manage the Los Angeles Angels. I really don't want Joe Maddon. To be honest with you, I think he's another version of Gabe Kapler. I would probably prefer Maddon over Kapler, but Maddon is literally another version of Gabe Kapler with the analytics and the old. And you think he's old school. He has experience. He's won a World Series. He's made it to 2 World Series appearances with the Rays in 08 and the Cubs in 16. They won it. The Cubs won in 16. He led the Cubs to World Series championship. The Cubs never should have fired Maddon. I really don't understand why they did. I think that's kind of a stupid decision, but whatever. I would probably prefer Maddon over Kapler, but because he has MLB experience and he's a bit older, he knows more about the game than Kapler does. The Angels look like they're going to get him. I think that'd be a good fit for the Angels. The Angels are a joke. They're just not going anywhere next year. Brad Osmus only lasted 1 year. They obviously used to have Mike Scioscia. He was there for a while. We're not getting Joe Maddon. That's out of the question. I really don't want him anyway. So let's take a look at the other candidates. Obviously, the Padres, another team. I might, some other teams might pop up in my head while I'm making this video. The Padres are another team that fired their manager, Andy Green. They fired Andy Green. I don't understand why they just didn't wait to the end of the year to fire him. They fired him like 2 weeks before the season. That was bizarre. Why not just wait until the season's over? I really don't get that. Something must have happened or something. They just got an argument made. They said, "All right, we want you going now." I have no idea. So, Buck Showalter managed the Baltimore Orioles. He's obviously has a lot of experience. He was with the Yankees. He was with the Rangers, obviously with the Orioles. He's a very, very good manager, very, very old school. I really, really like Buck Showalter. I think that'd be a good move. He's 63 years old. I think he'd be a good fit the Phillies. I really would. I would love that. And I know there was some talk about him last year being the manager, even the year before that. Maybe we could hire Buck Showalter. I think, I mean, obviously that last year with the Orioles was pretty tough. I think that's why he took a year off from managing, because after you come off a 100-loss season, like a 50-win season, I think you got to take a little bit of a break. I mean, that's exhausting when you lose 100+ games. So I think that's why he took a year off. Now he's ready to come back again. So I definitely think that he's definitely a serious candidate for this Phillies team if we fire Gabe Kapler, which doesn't look like it's going to happen. It really pains me to the core, because I don't know how I could root for this organization. This is an example. I talk about the Phillies shooting themselves in the foot. And this is an example of the Phillies shooting themselves in the foot. You have a prime opportunity to hire so many great managers like Joe Girardi. I understand that he doesn't really care about player development. Phillies updates, and now we're talking about that. For example, the thing is, if you have a young kid like Adam Hazley and he has the opportunity to play someone who is more experienced, he's going to choose the guy with more experience, and he doesn't really give the guys much room to develop. Joe Maddon's kind of like that too. He put Chris Bryant out in left field. So Madden and Girardi don't really care about player development, but I would still take him over Kapler any day of the week. So he's definitely a candidate. Joe Girardi, definitely a candidate for this team. I haven't really heard Mike Scioscia's name brought up around here. I don't think that that's really realistic. So I think the only really two names that were like seriously, I know at the very beginning you hear about Raul Ibanez, that's not going to happen, but I honestly think Girardi could work. I know there's obviously some talk about him 2 years ago. Even goes back to last year too. There's some talk about him coming here. I definitely think that could work. I think you're going to see one of those guys, either Buck Showalter or Joe Girardi, go to the New York Mets. I think you're going to see one of those guys do it. I definitely think one of those guys will get a job. And I think that maybe you see Buck Showalter go out to San Diego. You got Manny Machado out there. Obviously, he was under Buck Showalter when he was with the Orioles. So you got, I think I heard a rumor that he was requesting for Buck Showalter. So when you have a $300 million guy requesting for a manager, I think you got to listen up. So I definitely think that's a possibility. So I honestly would personally just rather have. I mean, people that say, "Let's stick with Kapler. None of the options are good." Well, you know what? I'd rather have Girardi. I really would. I really would. He's more of an old school guy when it comes, because he has more experience. I'm not saying it with the analytics thing, but Gabe Kapler's all analytics. He doesn't really have that much MLB managerial experience. Girardi has. He won a World Series in 2009. I'd rather have Girardi over Joe Maddon. And I just, I honestly would like to have Buck Showalter too. One of those two guys. So that's how I feel about the whole coaching thing. But guys, it's a disgrace that we're not firing Gabe Kapler. It really is. It's not confirmed, but it doesn't look like we will. If it drags out this long, it doesn't look like that. And just tell us, what is your freaking decision? Why drag it out? It's so, and the reason I keep saying that word, I'm so annoyed. I really am. I'm so annoyed. And it's just a parody of this team. It's such a parody. Of course, couldn't get any more Phillies. It couldn't get any more Phillies. Let's wait out a week and a half after the season ends, and let's make our decision. In counting, because it still hasn't even been made yet. So an absolute disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace what's going on. It really, really pisses me the hell off. It really does. It just bothers me. Why we shoot ourselves in the foot and why we don't make an easy decision. Just fire the manager. He's so bad. He is so bad. He is trash. I'm so sick and tired of watching him post game, with the voice and it's just his mannerisms annoy me. Everything about him just drives me insane. I want him out. I really, really hope that the Phillies maybe wise up. But you know what? The whole front office is in love with him. They love him. They think he's great for this team. Well, you know what? That's a damn shame in itself that we think that man could lead our team. It just shows what a joke this front office is. I'm so embarrassed to be wearing this hat right now. You never heard me say that once in this video, especially going through that rough time we went through. Well, you know what? You're going to hear it now because I'm just really, really having a hard time supporting this front office and that shows how upset I am. I'm really having a hard time supporting this front office when we make a stupid decision like that to bring back our manager. It's not confirmed, but wait until they confirm that he's back because you're going to see me throw my hat across the room. I'm going to make a video. I'm going to be screaming. So get ready for that. Now, the opposite happens, and you're going to see me clapping. You're going to see me throw some confetti in the air, of course. So it's either going to be black or white. It's going to be one way or the other. So it's no good. It's not going to be a gray area, man. So get ready for the video. It's going to be exciting either way. Hopefully it's the way I want it to happen. Hopefully it's the confetti and the balloons and everything celebrating that our stupid manager is gone. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please smash the like in this video. Please tell all your friends about these videos. Before we go, just a quick note. Just about the tendering situation. I'm just going to touch on this. This is the only part. I know I said I was going to talk about the whole tender, but this was one thing. I keep seeing everywhere that Cesar Hernandez wants to tender non-tender Cesar Hernandez. This man has been the most underrated player on our team. This guy hit like 280 this year. He had a very good year. I understand he was kind of a singles hitter, but this guy got hits when we needed him to. He hit for a little. He hit I think he got like 70 RBIs. He had a great year. And we're going to non-tender this guy? What is wrong with people? And they love Maikel Franco. They love him. And they think that Scott Kingery should start over him. Well, Hernandez had a more productive year than Scott Kingery. And I understand that Scott Kingery is the best. He's our future. But it just drives me crazy how disrespected Cesar Hernandez is. I'm a Cesar Hernandez fan. Cesar, if you're watching this, I support you, man. I think you should stay in this team next year. I'm a Hernandez fan. But if we could trade him for some pitching, then I wouldn't be opposed to that either. But to say that Hernandez should be non-tendered is absolutely insane. You're out of your mind if you think that we should non-tender him. Idiots. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you have not yet. Please tell your friends about these videos. Please check out the social media link in the description below. And I will see you all later. Have a good day, guys.